Welcome to another episode of Coffee with April. As you guys can see, we are more people than what we usually are. The reason for that is that we're going to talk about coffee subscriptions, one of the hottest subjects at the moment in coffee. And to make this a bit more interesting, we brought with us a pro, Viktor from Bimbos, which we have been working with before as well, which has been really cool. I think twice now.
Twice.
That's really cool. Do you want to share with us just why Bimbos? Why start a coffee subscription?
Well, I found it very interesting to share some of the best roasters in Europe, and back then when I had the idea for it, there wasn't that many subscriptions, so I waited actually too long before starting with it. And
when did you guys actually start? Like which year?
Officially, it was 2016, end of summer. But the idea was like at least a year before, and I was working on my bachelor thesis in school, and I used this idea for creating my bachelor thesis, and yeah, that was the main idea.
Okay, so Bimbos is a result
project
of your school project.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. I didn't know that.
So I had like hard time to find good coffees where I was living in North Denmark, and there wasn't that many good services I would sign up for, and I thought like, why didn't I just make it more myself? And in that way I can also discover new roasters and new coffees that might be interesting for others to try. That was kind of the bait.
Was it very challenging to kind of set it up, or did you know exactly how you wanted to do it, or did you have to kind of change a lot of things along the way because you learned that okay, this doesn't work or this doesn't work, or how did it go setting it up?
I think it wasn't that challenging, but because I think this coffee community is very supportive, and we got a lot of support from the first roasters we've been working with, like Hebra and Tamateo. They were very supportive, and they let us work with them like very closely, and they gave us some tips, and also they were very flexible because they knew that we were just starting up.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But in terms of changing stuff, I think we done our research and we kind of we had an idea of how to make a business to start up and also a website to run. So I think we had like a good foundation, and therefore we didn't need like big changes, and we didn't fail in doing different things. So I think it was quite smooth, I would say.
Yeah.
But we always have like some issues, and we're trying new things, and always trying to optimize how it could be better for the customers, and how could it be like, faster and more fresh and all that.
Yeah, I think that that's the challenges that we have had as well. So we launched our subscription/membership club also 6 months ago, roughly. I think we relaunched that version a week ago. With the idea of just creating a bit more content. Joe, do you just want to quickly describe what that content is and why we did that?
The subscription model, there are quite a lot of options out there now, and for us, I mean, we roast coffee. We work with coffee very frequently, and we realized that actually a lot of people want to be here with us. Actually, unfortunately, it's not always possible. So we tried to think a little bit more about what the value and the added value that we have and we can give to people that want to follow our subscription. And for us, that was just a greater insight into the decisions that we make behind the scenes. A lot of people are expecting a great quality bag of coffee arriving. In our model, we want to be able to accompany that bag of coffee with all of the relevant information in terms of sourcing, roasting, quality control, the things that we think are the most important about that coffee, and the things that we did to affect it. And in that sense, we can be a little bit more transparent. We can be a little bit more educational to a certain extent, but it is an open conversation, and by doing that, we can also accept more interesting questions about our own style and philosophy and what we do. And it can be quite introspective as a kind of operation.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I think all of us in terms of subscription are trying to find a niche, right? Because there's so many subscriptions out there in the world now. I don't know how many. I never counted.
Hundreds probably.
And
more coming.
That's like we're only looking at Europe. Let's look at the US, where it's like insane, or Australia. But what are Bimbos trying to do to kind of Why should I buy coffee from Bean Bros and no one else? Right.
So we try to like keep a standard in quality. So we never take a compromise on quality. So sometimes we go over the limit and we buy coffees that cost way more than we would be able to pay, but because we sometimes think it's just worth pleasing the customers. So we always keep the quality very high, and we discover some of the most exciting roasters in Europe. So we try to not just look at from different perspectives, also from the brand side and what's the story behind the coffee, and not just like what is in the coffee itself. And so the producers and then also the roaster team behind the company, and we try to bring that story into the box and tell the small stories in the book. So we try to bring also kind of this combination of coffee and the people behind the coffee who's producing the coffee.
Yeah. And you're choosing your coffees through a cupping methods generally.
Right.
You would cup all the coffees from a roaster beforehand, and then look for something you find really interesting, or you have a preference towards.
Yeah. What does if there's a roaster seeing this and he's like, I really want to work with Bean Bros, which we recommend. What do that roaster have to do to qualify as a Bean Bro coffee?
Well, we do cupping, and it's not just me. I have a small team, and we're working together. So it's not one person deciding what is in the box, but we have all different tastes, and I think everyone has different preferences. But in general, I think we have a common understanding what is a Bean Bros coffee, and we're mostly looking for like Nordic style light roasted coffees, because we only sell at the moment filter coffees, and that's what our customers like, very fruity and acidic and clean roasts. But we do cupping, and then we actually have a lot of samples coming in these days, and because there's so many small roasters opening up, and they really want to get their fruit into the market, and I think it's a good first step to have a subscription collaboration, but it might not always be the best case for them. So we also try to look at the scale. So it's not the best for us to work with very small roasters, because they don't always have the access for the best green coffees, and so we try to keep a balance between small and established roasters.
Yeah.
So I think at least one of the questions that we are thinking a lot about here at April now is, how in the world do you grow your subscription? I'm sure that's something you think a lot about as well. Do you have any tips or tricks for other people doing subscriptions, or what kind of tools did you work with to kind of spread the word about Bean Bros?
Yeah, I think I guess it's a problem. It's a niche. It's a topic for every business that doing something online. You always have to grow. If you don't grow, then you're actually irrelevant. So we are trying to look into different tools. First of all, that's something that's short term, and we have short term results. We do have some online advertising, but that's a short term goal, and it's very it's easy to set up, but it only works until you actually pay for it. And we also invest a lot of time into content and creating original content. So we do have these small magazines in the book in our boxes, and we believe that also brings a different kind of value. So we invest into that a lot, and also creating online content online.
Yeah.
So that's a long-term goal to create to educate the customers that they would feel the need to try this kind of quality coffees, because the specialty market is very small, and it's just a fraction of coffee consumers who's buying this quality of coffee. So we try to make that market a bit larger by educating everyday customers why specialty coffee is actually different from your average coffee from the supermarket. So I think it involves a lot of time invested in, but I think long term it will pay off.
Do you have structures within Bean Bros for engagement? So for example, how you're over several months, if people have a preference for a certain coffee, for example, is there a way that feedback comes back to you? Do you find that that's within the structure that you have, or does that come from social media, for example?
And we do have a lot of feedbacks from social media. Like our subscribers are very engaged, and they always tell us if how they like the coffee. So that's a good indicator. Although we don't have any like way of distinguishing like coffees, or like if this month you like this coffee. Yeah. So we don't do curation in the sense that this month wasn't that good, so next month it will be something like that, or that's a limitation because it's not personalized in that sense. But this is something I think it would be important to focus in the future. Yeah. But it comes with a lot of work and a lot of
for sure
difficulties.
Yeah.
And then subscriptions, at least for me, like part of the cool thing and what we're trying to do with the April one as well is to, keep it diverse. Whereas, if I sign up for a subscription, I want to try different coffees, right?
Exactly.
And I need to know that that's not gonna always taste exactly the same, because then I would, as I already did, sign up for the Tim Edible membership, and then I get Tim coffees every month, and that's awesome, and I know what I get. But if I sign up for something broader like Bean Bros, for example, then I need to expect different coffees.
Different expectation. Right.
We're trying to keep it. We do then like an exclusive coffee every month for our subscribers, which we source, roast, and share exclusively for them, not for anyone else, right? So I think it's important you're gonna find some kind of a niche in it, but for sure the fun part of the subscription is to try a lot of different coffees. Right? I think that's super cool. I think with that we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Viktor, for hanging out with us. He just basically came in to get some coffee, and we forced him to do this. But we really like that. Thank you guys for watching. Comment as always down here somewhere. Subscribe, share. That's what we want to do. Sign up to Bean Bros.
Yep.
And they should do that.
Thank you.
And April.
Yeah.
That's true. And keep on forgetting.
You can never have too many coffee subscriptions.
No, that's true.
You can never have that. That's a great way to end this. You can never have too many coffee subscriptions. Thank you, guys.